Hey, this is Matson and welcome to our video.
Welcome back.
Today's topic is a controversial topic. What is the topic about?
Do we agree with death sentence?
Oh my god, this can't be more controversial.
Hey, come on.
We actually always have debates with Samson and after that we want to make videos, yeah?
Yeah.
We have several additional interesting topics to talk about.
Yeah.
The death sentence thing. It's a heavy topic. And let's just make like some kind of like how it looks like in Europe, I will say, and you will say how it looks like in Asia overall.
Okay.
Or in Taiwan.
In Taiwan.
Yeah. In Europe, about the death sentence, for somebody who might be not from Europe and who is willing to know, basically European Union, the law of European Union disagree with death sentence. But basically countries cannot have the death sentence. And European Union countries, indeed, they do not practice it, they do not have it, yeah? However, in Europe, there is still one country which is doing death sentence, and it is Belarus. They are still doing it, they are still practicing this kind of sentence, and this is the only country that has it. There is one country which is Russia, and this one is like the situation that is kind of interesting because they kind of have it, but they don't practice it. Yeah. So basically, only one country in Europe, Belarus, has it, and Poland doesn't. However, Poland did have it, and it was until 1988 when the last sentence was made. It was like in Krakow to some criminal, and after that, basically, we stopped doing it. Yeah, there was like a kind of like. Just basically we stopped doing death sentence, So since 1988 we are not doing it anymore. And how it looks like in Taiwan? Yeah.
Taiwan always have death sentence even till now. There was a period of time during 19 something. I need to check.
It was so much data.
These are the numbers that it was like how many people were executed during every year. Yeah. So there is a number on Wikipedia from 1987 till now, and for example, in 1991, we executed 59 people. 1990, we executed 78 people. Last year, we didn't execute anyone. This year, we have one person executed.
I see it is dropping. But I see there is a lag, 2013 till 2017.
Yeah. And it's more like this. Overall, the whole Taiwanese people disagree to ban death sentence. Like most of the people, like 80%, based on the data, do agree to keep death sentence, including me. And back then, during 2006 to 2009, there was this 3 years that the Minister of Justice, the president of this ministry, disagreed to sign this final agreement to execute those people. So that's also the reason why during those few years there were lags, because they were the death row list of those people.
But you had like a kind of like debate on this topic during that time?
Yes.
But you didn't have any voting from people?
No.
It was just a debate, yeah?
Yeah. So back then I clearly remember that lady didn't want to sign this agreement to execute those prisoners, and later on people are getting more and more angry, and then the whole government couldn't really stand the whole pressure from the people. So eventually from 2010 they started to do the execution once again. But obviously the number is getting smaller. And we also had few cases that there are people who were actually innocent and they were executed. I believe it happens in every country, and we also have pretty active organization in Taiwan who wants to promote to ban the death sentence.
I might be wrong, correct me if I am, because many people are thinking that death sentence is mostly because of murder. But I think in Taiwan also something with drugs is connected. Yes.
Overall in Asian countries.
When you want to travel to Asian countries, punishment system in those countries about the drugs is very heavy. So I don't recommend using drugs in most of Asian countries.
Like using drugs is considered, selling, carrying drugs dealing with drugs.
I think it's all because of opium war.
Yeah, and it's considered to be very, very serious issue and crime. So even in our airport, I remember there were already slogans that reminding you, you know, like selling drugs might
Dear West people.
might give you that sentence, yeah, like that. Yeah, so overall in Taiwan, it's still very commonly agreed among people.
Okay. And so far, when I'm talking with my colleagues, with most of the colleagues, most of friends that I have, I would say most of them actually do agree with death sentence,
Really?
I have to say. And my personal story is that I was actually always against it until I meet her.
The game changer.
Yeah, exactly. I was very, very against death sentence. Very, very against. However, you changed me. I think most of the debates that we are having, mostly when we are drunk, they changed my opinion, and I would like to say that it is good to have wife or husband or any partner to be with, because and they good if they are different, they have different opinions, because she actually extremely changed me in many points,
That surprised me.
and that point is one of them. So I was very, very against, and now I am up to. However, I wouldn't be up to death sentence into anything connected to drugs. I mean, of course, doing drugs to somebody and killing, of course, this one, okay, but like drugs, this one I would like completely cancel. This is like kind of
too much.
Too much, in my opinion. Yes. However, and also, like, for example, in my opinion, killing, when somebody kills someone, but because of something happened, like, for example,
self-defense, for example.
No, this one definitely, But if somebody, for example, there is a woman and the husband was beating her and so on, and she kind of like was thinking like, okay, I will kill him because I want to get rid of this nightmare of my life. Yes. Okay, she did the crime, but I wouldn't do that much to her, because obviously there is a reason, But if someone murders somebody and someone has a like I don't know, some kind of weird fascination of doing this, and someone planned it and it was an innocent person, then I completely agree with the death sentence. Actually. You know, we are adult people. We are not kids, and you present this law system to somebody, and that's it. It has to be like. I just don't get it. Like, keep this kind of person for the whole life in a prison, yes. Anyways, he was not useful anymore.
And what is your point of view? Because on this point, during the debate, those people who are up to banning that sentence, they will say that we should make prison more humanized. We should give them education, give them jobs, so to make them have the possibility to rejoin the society. In any case, if they have good behavior in the prison, so they could be released.
This is a very interesting topic as well, because we have a common practice on something like that in our Nordic friends in Europe, especially well known those Norway prison system.
Looks better than my dormitory back in the university.
It's like their idea is that if someone is is making some crime, there is always a way to put him back to the society, and that somebody who did something bad, we can present him a good life. We can present him that, wait, you can do this and that, You can, right now in a prison, you can study, you can learn something for the job and so on, so you will be well prepared. So later on, we will release you, but you will be able to actually be a proper citizen. Which, regarding to statistics, what I actually read, works in their countries, kind of like, at least I see less people are going back to the prison again after they commit a crime. They go to prison, but then they are released, and there is less percent that they will come back again to the prison, than in other countries. However, I have different opinion on this topic, because for me, punishment is a punishment, and in my opinion, just you did something bad, you deserve a punishment. You are not a kid, so you deserve a punishment, and it should be done not like in a hotel standards, yes. So
that's true.
And maybe it works in the calm society like Norway, but I just cannot imagine it implementing it into my country, and I disagree with that. That is my idea,
Yeah. So in my case, as I say that I agree with that sentence, with similar concept that make it simple, an eye for an eye. So you are adults, so you know the consequences of what you're doing. You know, you are gonna kill somebody, yeah? You're gonna rape and kill somebody. It's not like you just go out and steal something. You wouldn't get death sentence because of that, yeah? So so many times when those organizations are pleading for those criminals, saying that he is a human life and he doesn't deserve to be executed by another human, because who are we to play God? But who is he to kill somebody?
Metallica song, this Ride the Lightning, yeah. They even say it in their song that who made you God to say I took a life from you, something like that. Yeah, because I remember they were against this.
They are.
Why am I even saying this right now? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so in my opinion, he killed somebody. That's why he gets this sentence. Yeah, so it is a punishment for him. It's not like he did nothing and then he just got this sentence for nothing. Yeah. So, well, if we're saying that, well, he's a human life, so what about those victims? What about those lives that he took? And what to do? Of course, I know that killing this criminal wouldn't take those lives back, but at least it's some kind of return to give some peace, some justice in a way for the family. Yeah, okay, some family might not, they might have very big hearts. They say that, yeah, I decided to forgive this man who killed my daughter. So good for them. They have really big hearts for that. But
maybe there can be a system like this, that, you know, if the family and everybody they're like connected to it, like it's up to decide, so then they can switch it into life sentence. Like, and I'm just like right now I'm just making law
for our kingdom.
Yes. No, I'm just having some thoughts.
But that's an interesting thought, yeah. And also I kind of disagree with this life sentence because
okay. Fun fact.
Yeah.
We didn't have a life sentence in Poland once. Actually, it was released in like 1998, I think. We actually had only like 25 years of prison maximum or death sentence. Yeah. And the weird part is, I really have to say it, we have a criminal, is Mariusz Trunkiewicz, and yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, we have this criminal, and he actually was a physical education teacher, and he killed like 4 boys, and he was sentenced to that. Yeah, he's like serial killer. He raped them and he killed them. Yeah, and like he was literally a beast. Yeah, and then he got a death sentence. And and the point is that in 1988 we denied death sentence, but back then the highest other sentence was 25 years. So instead of getting life sentence, he got 25 years, yeah? And then he's supposed to be released in like 2000 something, yeah? However, they still put him into somewhere, and they even find some controversial material that he had, and so they even increased his stay, his time. But it's so ridiculous, you know, like a beast like that got like 25 years, and meanwhile someone could have a life sentence, for example, because of something. Yeah, and like something doesn't match here.
Yeah.
Okay, but
yeah, I just feel like, anyways, about life sentence, about prison overall, it's running based on the money from the country. And where did this money came from? It doesn't come from nowhere. We, as people who are paying tax, we are contributing part of our money into this jail. Yeah, so then if this person did something which is pretty bad already, that he could get life sentence, we could just give him death sentence and get rid of this person. You know, we are producing new babies, so we have more new hope, new chance.
So this like literally this Darwin.
If you're the weak one and you cannot contribute.
Okay, calm down.
If you are the weak one, that you cannot contributing something positive to the society, so you don't deserve to be kept in the society.
Susan is like, she looks cute, she behaves cute, but when you will hear her sometimes it's really scary. What's your point of view about the actual sentence, how it should be done? You are willing to somebody to really suffer, to be tortured?
No.
Or make it in a very human way?
I think injecting medicine is actually
They are up to this
nice,
one.
yeah.
It's nice.
We in Taiwan actually it's interesting that on the law it mentioned that we could do either the medical injection like in the US or we do the gun, like we shoot them in the heart or in the head. However, the actual practice we only use the gun execution. At least that's what Wikipedia told me, that we never really use the medicine.
About Taiwan is pretty creepy because I tried to read about this and there is so lack of information. Literally, there is not so much. Only like, there is shooting and like it takes place somewhere from in that hour, but there is not so much about this.
Actually,
in Western sites.
In Chinese language, it's like very detailed explanation.
There is.
Even like what's included in the last meal, and there are some superstitions in the prison, and so on and so forth. There are lots of talking, lots of stories. For example, those cuffs, for the legs, for those prisoner who is executed. It's popular among the prisoners because there is a saying that the same cuff cannot execute two people. So if you get this cuff from this dead person, it means that you will somehow get rid of it. Like this kind of superstitious. There are lots of them. Later I can share. So what was the question?
Like if you would like to make it human, but you already said that you prefer to make it human. The injection type.
Injection.
Yeah.
However, on raping, it's nothing about the death sentence, but we were also talking about it, and I have my concept about those rapists, that they deserve to have some chemical punishment.
Okay.
So let's assume it's a male raper, So he's supposed to get some chemistry injected into his penis that he cannot get erected anymore, or he will not be sexually aroused anymore, this kind of thing. So when he is released back to the normal society, we can assure that he will have no intention and no
an
feeling.
Interesting point of view, actually.
No feeling to rape anyone, because you never know.
In my opinion, it should be hanging because it was... Hanging was also the method that it was used in Poland, and Japan is using this method. I don't know why I said Japan is using this method in Asia, and I think that would be the method that I would stay with. I am actually far away of methods like those electrocution. I feel like
in those chairs.
Yes,
It's really crazy.
Or gas chambers and stuff like that. I think it's like really like I don't
weird.
like why you have to make it so much variety? Like that's why I kind of don't understand United States, that they are not really they are kind of like skipping already those methods, but they do this lethal injection. But except of that, there was like a huge variety of methods: the gas chambers, the electrocutions.
Isn't it gonna be more fun for the prisoner to choose? Anyways, he knows he's gonna die, so he can choose that there are 5 options. You want the injection, or you want gun, or you want
I don't think at that moment he is actually having any fun,
I know, but giving the last option of his life, that's more fun.
Okay.
There's some kind of freedom for them. Just my idea.
I will just keep one method and that's it.
But about our way of this execution by shooting, the only concern for me is that
Belarus is doing shooting as well.
Okay, because this, let's say, policeman has to do it. So it's kind of affecting his mind.
So that's why, for example, you put the shooting crew, you put like 5 people, for example, and only one has the exact bullet.
That's good. Yeah.
The same about switches or anything. You put 3 of them, and only one is working.
Yeah, I know. I'm just feeling like about the medicine injection, like switch. So you are pressing a switch instead of you are actually pulling a trigger. Still, by the feeling, it's still different. Even though you know that maybe mine didn't kill him, but you still bear this kind of burden in your mind that today I might kill somebody, tomorrow I might kill somebody. So I think this is kind of the pressure that will always stay with him. That's my concern.
I'm just trying to figure out right now, why not making it into like computer, like
that's what I thought. Because anyways, there's nothing you can go wrong.
Why you cannot just set up the time?
Set up some station there, So you put the criminal there at this point, and then you
Well,
pull
yeah,
the
I'm just
trigger.
thinking like, why not making it like in a computer way that at 21, for example, this time something should be released, like some switch or something.
Yeah.
But then might be like, someone can hack it, but I don't know.
Too much conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's very interesting. I like controversial topics and I like
Me
to
too.
talk about them. If you have anything to share, if you have any
Peaceful discussion.
a peaceful discussion, if you have any point of view that you would like to talk about and to share, so please comment below. We are willing to read, listen, and we
to throw you.
always repeat we always reply the comments.
That's
Okay.
it.
So see you
See you next time.
next time.
Love you.
Love you.
Cheers.